Hello, I'm David Norris. Sometimes the journey in life can be difficult. Traveling like a salmon against the current, being told again and again the flow is too strong, you should give up. My life has been that journey, as it is for so many of you who are told that because of your race, birthright, religion, education, or orientation that you do not belong. Once the flow became so strong, and I allowed myself to think that it would be easier to turn away. I was wrong. I remembered my old friend and political mentor, Noel Brown, whose autobiography was called Against the Tide, and so I swam once more against the tide. I came back, like St. Patrick, or Robert Bruce, or Daniel O'Connell. I heard the voice of the people calling me and telling me to come back and try again. The journey is like that of Ireland itself, a land in need of a comeback. What would Beckett say? Here on these steps, a few months ago, I quoted him about failure, and now I remember other words of our great Nobel Prize-winning laureate. I can't go on. I must go on. I will go on, and that is my resolve. This is a country with so much to celebrate. You wouldn't know it from the way we're being portrayed around the world. Last year we had a general election. Jerseys were swapped, but nothing more. We threw out one political elite and installed another. The people who ran the banks are now again in power. The same group have control of the councils, the Dáil, the Seanad. The stakes are very high. Would it be wise to give them control of the presidency as well? I have spent most of my life celebrating our rich heritage, our writers, our poets, our architecture. Now I want to celebrate something equally important, the strength of the will of our people. Our culture was Ireland's strength, the thing that kept us strong in the darkest days when we were poor and unwelcome. They kept me and my colleagues together in the dark days when battles had to be won through the courts and through the political process to make sure the dignity and the rights of the individual were respected. It can be lonely out there on the margins of society, I know. My mission is to move the boundaries of inclusion by putting the welfare of our people at the heart of the action in the political process in Ireland. Every president has brought something to the presidency. Douglas Tehida on Craven Evening, who is a friend of my family down in Laois, brought cultural eminence and refreshed a nation which had grown weary through revolution and war. Sean T. O'Kelly brought conviviality and informality, good Irish qualities. Eamon de Valera brought statesmanship, wisdom, and the ability of the office to define the nation. Erskine Childers brought multiculturalism. Carúil O'Dawley brought independence of mind and bravery. Paddy Hillary brought the European dimension. Mary Robinson brought the lamp in her window, her message for the diaspora. Mary McAleese brought an understanding of the peace process and the forces that are behind them. And me, if I am privileged to be elected, I will bring my concern for human rights to the position of president and keep it blazing there, a bonfire not just of the vanities of the Celtic tiger, but of all the prejudices that still stalk our land and the world beyond our shores. When, a couple of months ago, I launched my bid for the presidency of Ireland, I had three pillars: mental health and well-being, culture, and enterprise. And over the months, I've made myself more familiar again with all these issues. I know more now about suicide than I did, although I was one of those who supported Dan Neville in Seanad Éireann when he addressed the issue of suicide 10 or 15 years ago. Our culture is important, but it spreads everywhere. It's not just Joyce, Yeats and Heaney, it's also our great scientists. Boyle, Boyle's Law, George Boole in Cork, Boole in algebra, scientific discoveries, Ernest Walton, with whom I used to have lunch in Trinity, and enterprise. Surprisingly, I've actually run 2 successful businesses, so I've learnt as well something about how to get stuck in, roll your sleeves up, and with very little resources, get an enterprise going. Thank you.